In one of the most anticipated dates on the snooker calendar, the tour stopped off at the Tempodrom, Berlin for the BetVictor German Masters. Held by Ali Carter, who defeated Tom Ford in last year's final, the prize for the victor would be £80,000. Pre-existing narratives, including the potential for Judd Trump to win the coveted BetVictor Series bonus currently held by Robert Milkins, and with the Players' Championship and Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker around the corner, every match counts for those looking to climb the rankings. A week of breathtaking snooker was ahead in the German capital, with the defending champion getting us underway. However, the tournament started in December, with qualification taking place at Pons Forge. World Championship semi-finalist Si Jiahui trailed fellow Chinese player Liu Haotian 4-0, but came back to win 5-4 in the pick of the opening fixtures. Elsewhere, Jordan Brown hit the tournament's highest break with a 1-4-2 in his decider win over Long Zhihang. Sam Craigie later levelled the feat in round 2. Anyway, back to the action in Germany, and a tough test against Michael White awaited for the champion Ali Carter, who was victorious in a decider against the Welshman, despite this comical break hitting the pink. I wonder what John Virgo would say. India's Ishpreet Singh Chadha caused the shock of the round, defeating world champion Luca Brecel 5-2. He starred with breaks of 78, 88, 53 and 70 during the tie. Marco Fu stunned Mark Selby 5-1 in another upset, but would pull out of the tournament in the following round due to a health problem. Mark Williams, John Higgins, Mark Allen and Judd Trump all secured safe passage to the second round, with the latter pulling off this incredible trick shot in his defeat of Lucas Kleckers.
27 and the frame.com.
So the field was down to 64 players in Berlin, with many playing their opening games after winning in Pons Forge. Tempodrom Anu won the tie of the round, beating international championship winner Zhang Anda in a decider. But a big story was Neil Robertson, who had a rough 2023, but continued his run in Berlin with a 5-0 win over namesake Jimmy. He attributed his progress to a more clinical instinct.
We need to get back to being, brutal and just burying opponents into the ground. That's what, there's no more happy, smiley handshakes anymore. I want the worst for my opponent on the table. Away from it, no problem, but on the table, I want them to suffer. So that's what I'm going to get back to.
Barry Hawkins was the victor the last time the tour visited Germany, winning in Nuremberg in August last year for the European Masters. It would be an early exit this time around though, with veteran and good friend Mark Davis in fine form against the Hawk. Mark Williams was the high-profile exit of the round, losing 5-1 to Chinese sensation He Guoxiang. Into the third round then, and Judd Trump beat Matthew Sell 5-2 in the highest profile tie of the round, with the match providing arguably the funniest moment of the German Masters. Matthew Sell aimed to hot the blue and split the pack of reds to continue his momentum in the match. Part 1 went well, part 2, well, not so much. Ishpreet Singh Chadha's wonderful run came to an end at the hand of Fan Zhengyi 5-2. Neil Robertson was again in fine form, beating close friend Joe Parry 5-1 in another dominating display. The Belgian beast, Julien Leclerc, would subsequently reach his first ever multi-frame ranking tournament last 16. He beat Jordan Brown comfortably, 5-1. Mark Allen continued his run in the competition, beating Joe O'Connor 5-2, with reigning champion Ali Carter also joining him in the last 16. The business end of the tournament opened with Ali Carter again successful in his quest to defend the title in the Tempodrom. He whitewashed Zach Surety 5-0, ending a great tournament for the Basildon Quist. John Higgins and Mark Allen met in the opening match of the Mr. Q Masters last month, and yet another last 16 tie awaited. The pistol won at Ali Pali, but it would be Higgins who got revenge this time around. Kyron Wilson hit a break of 115 to end Neil Robertson's run in the Tempodrom. Despite by his high standards and average season, he only trails Judd Trump in the centuries tally across the campaign, and would go on to hit a 147 in the BetVictor Championship League following this tournament. Judd then trumped Tempodrom in the performance of the last 16, The ace in the pack hit 3 centuries to reach another quarter-final, and with this victory, he also secured the BetVictor bonus of £150,000, with no other player able to catch him with events to spare. Si Xiahui and Fan Zhengyi ensured there would be a Chinese representation in the last 8, as they beat Yuan Zijun and Tom Ford respectively. Sam Craigie and Ryan Day completed the quarter-final lineup. Although all 4 quarter-finals looked like fairly even matchups, all 4 ended in comfortable victories for the eventual semi-finalist. The captain and reigning champion Ali Carter was dismantled by a vitalised Sam Craigie, who reached his maiden ranking semi with a 5-1 victory. In the final frame, the Geordie was on 80 on a 147 attempt, only to pot 2 reds. Judd Trump beat the Wizard of Wishaw John Higgins 5-2 to extend the Scots' wait for a ranking title. Higgins had led 2-1, but Trump powered through 4 consecutive frames to go through at his expense. Si Xiahui made light work of Ryan Day to reach his first ranking semi-final since the World Championship last season. Kyron Wilson also whitewashed Fan Zhengyi to reach his first semi-final of the season. Semi-final Saturday was upon the Tempodrom, with Trump and Craigie up first. The world number 2 never looked troubled in the match, winning 6-2 and making 3 half-century breaks. Despite the heavy loss, Craigie would leave Berlin with his head held high after a brilliant run to the last 4. Up next was Wilson against Si Xiahui, who had met in a high-profile match in the BetVictor shootout in December. The pair tied and went to a blue ball shootout, which Si would win in dramatic fashion. This time, in a more traditional format, Wilson would again start fast, taking a swift 2-0 lead. Si then rattled off 5 consecutive frames, including a brilliant 1-3-8 to take firm control. Wilson brought it back to 5-3, but the 22-year-old was seared out to earn himself a first ever ranking final. Trump and Si opened proceedings going toe-to-toe in a tense Tempodrom tussle. They shared the opening 4 frames in the final before Trump pulled away, winning 3 consecutively with a high break of 82. Si then won the final frame of the session, setting up the match for a finely poised conclusion. Albeit the standard of snooker was high in the opening session, the evening began with 3 successive centuries. Si knocked in a delightful 1-2-3 to go within a frame of Trump, but the ace in the pack responded with 1-1-3 and 1-0-8 to go 7-4 ahead. Trump then extended his lead to 8-4 before Si hit back, only for Trump to power the final 2 frames and claim victory in Berlin, 10-5. This was the Bristolian's 3rd German Masters crown and 4th ranking event victory of the season, taking his total to 27 ranking titles. Another year and another brilliant event at the Tempodrom. The World Snooker Tour resumes its action next week in Llandudno for the BetVictor Welsh Open. We'll see you there.